Good morning. Today we're going to finish up the exhaust on the land speed car. I've got a new bracket that I built. I got to weld because I want to take all this out to get the engine back in the car. Also, as soon as I get that tacked, bell housing on, remove the intake. I'm going to set the timing. I got to have the bell housing on because the timing mark's up in here. We're going to work our way around and put the timing belt on. We'll get all to that in just a minute. But first, we're going to tack this bracket that I made to hold up the inlet to the turbo. I'm going to try to set this up so that you can see from a distance because of the flash of the welder. I just hope it comes out okay. See if I can line this up so you can see. Which I think, I hope, that looks like it might do it. All right. If we need a helmet. Turn on some gas and power. Tone that down just a little bit. Try to go directly on you as close as possible. Oh. I have glasses that I have to use for welding. Can't see with these on. And even with these, it's a chore. That's why I let my son Forrest do the tigging, because I can't see what I'm doing. I need to get better glasses or a younger set of eyes, or both. Making sure that we've got nothing. Let me see. Make sure no sparks are going to get into anything that's open. I think we'll be alright if I can just tack it. Not go overboard. I don't need any debris in the turbo or anywhere. That should do it. I got some other repairs to make. I had cut out more than I needed to get this in here, and I got to fill that back in. But I won't do that until I can take this bracket completely off and bench repair it and clean it up, paint it, and so on and so forth. For the outlet of the turbo, we're going to build another bracket up here anyway, so we're going to have to weld on this upper part. My son's been hanging baby turbos up here. All right. Let me see if you can still see what's going on here, I hope. Yep, that looks good. All right, now that's okay. We're done with that. There was a lot of work to get to here. I had a steering shaft that came out of here. Had to clear that because it passes right down through here, and it's about a ½ inch away. Had to be careful of underneath here, the clearance there, because I've got a rubber motor mount, but I think it'll be okay because I'll wrap this. The biggest thing is that this can be easily taken off, which right now I think that's what I'm going to do, is take this pipe off. Change out the glasses again, because there's no need to have this pipe on there. So, it's, and I set it up so that, and I'll show you, say, I set it up so I've locked the clamp in place, so all I've got to do is take this one nut off, and I can swing this out once I loosen up the V-band clamp on the collector on the manifold, so everything stays in one place, so you don't have to reclock it, so to speak. I'm going to put you back on the bench. I don't want to stand in front of this, so. Proof in the pudding is how it comes apart. I'm going to jack the turbo up, take the little tension off from that, and swing that up. I think it'll work good. Pretty heavy. As long as we move the V-clamp, we can slide it out. That works good. I'm happy with that. Put that back together. Let's see how it's going to go back together. Line it up. Good. The biggest thing has got to be taken out with the engine in the car, along with the new pipe that we got to build here. So we can set this aside somewhere. Put the bell housing on so we can set up timing, and I'll swing this around. Yeah, you can see where I overcut this. I'll bring this up here. So I overcut this out right here. I did this in the car so I can get this turbo mocked up. So I cut out a little. So I've got a piece already cut. I'm gonna fill this right back in, and we'll clean this all up and prime it and paint it so it looks nice. I don't want to get too fussy. This car is not so much for looks as this functionality. Set you back over here. Housing. Making sure we put the throwout bearing in, kind of handy. I've already torqued flywheel down, clutch, all that stuff. Make sure that's going to stay there. get the heavier impact. I don't know what this is set for, but should be fine for the sounds of it. One of those, I have to use a chrome socket because it's thinner wall. Good. I'll show you the shield I had to make. I don't know if I could have got away with it, but this took a bit of work in itself. This 1/4-inch plate, and basically it's a shatter shield for the flywheel. I mean, pretty intricate really, all the way around, and it does come without taking the bell housing off. With the bolts, original studs like this for grounds and so on and so forth. Mounting down here, probably got a little bit of overkill. It was required. Alright, let's go to the intake manifold next, because we don't need it on there now. I was only using that for clearance up in here. Basically now just getting it to the point so I can get it back in. Yeah, get the engine back in the car and start working on this part right here. I've got a little bit of trimming to do right in here for the clamp here. But at this point, this will stay here. This is not coming back out again. I'm going to let it down, which I don't care about at this point. Put these clamps up out of the way. Now, I've got all these plugs that I put in the intake to any trash from going there. I think that one was in there. Alright. Get rid of the tools. Shut the gas off here on the welder. And it. Now what we're going to do is I've got a line, I can set this over the, I've got to align the timing mark up to get number 1 up. Take off the cams. Trouble is, I don't have the front sprocket and trigger wheel for the timing to my son, because he's going to sort of rebuild that. So, I've got to come up with some way of turning this thing without using the sprocket itself. Let's see what happens here. Oh, wait a minute. I have an idea. The only thing is I don't know where the tool is. I'll be right back. I gotta go find 2 bolts that will fit in this front sprocket to turn this. do it. I hope. Yeah, there's a timing mark in the back here. I think I better get a light. As soon as I get the mark set, I'll turn it around so you can see what's going. What we're going to do is we're going to watch number 1. Because I can't going to be turning because the belt's not on, because that's what we're working towards right now, is to get the belt on for the timing. We have interference. Let's go see what we've got for timing. Or are we 180 out? No, we are almost right on. I'll back it up just a smidgen, I think. Biggest thing is holding it in. That's pretty good right there. Turns awfully easy when it's top dead center. Of course, no plugs in it. Now, I'm going to push this around here. One thing about my bench that I built years ago is rolls around. Plus got just a plain old trailer. Tongue bent up I used to place to work on this thing. Now we got to get we've got to get this thing. It's almost on the timing mark right there. We don't have to move it much. This is get the cam timing, get the belt on it. I wished I had the sprocket, but I think we'll be all right. I don't think I'll be 80 degrees out. Like I say, mine's got the sprocket and rebuild things. We need this tensioner. Nuts and bolts. We need to move that cam just a little. Cams, plural. 1 meter. Should be on the money right there. And this is kind of fun to do, kind of. It can be kind of a pain at the same time. You're trying to hold everything in place and get the belts on. It's got to be kind of all at once. With the tensioner involved. And not have to turn anything. You never know until you put the tension on it. It can be kind of a, oops, wrong side of that right there. Start off the bat. There we go. Oh, not right. See that. Need to back up a cog or so. I think my tensioner's got to go on first. I always have a fun time with this. Yeah, this is a little horror show right here. Loaded. Springs outward, so this has got to come up through here. I guess you can. Look. I could put you closer. But like, about like that maybe. You can see my mistakes even closer. I don't know what's going on here. I'm not on the bolt. This block originally didn't come with this automatic tensioner. I drilled the block in order to put this tensioner. This is the 6 block, which didn't come with this. It had a manual. You had to have the belt tensioner gauge, if you will, to set this belt up. Here, you just loosen the this is the one here. This is just a pivot point. Spring, release it, let it come up against the belt, and that automatically adjusts and locks it down again, which is kind of nice. Like I say, this can be a pain. To get this up and to get it in the right place. This is a Gates Kevlar racing. I went to this because of the heavier springs I put on the valves, because they're not original. They're all valve, all set up for 8 pounds in pressure. So, yeah, and I'm not liking this right now. It's just such a... It's got to be right. Oh, there we go. I wish there was an easier way to do this, but there isn't. Everything's got to be in the exact position. It just doesn't go. I think I've got that all the way back. It is close, because this did not come on this engine. And all of this is a, if you will. There we go. Okay, we might have it. The only way you can tell, they do a revolution on it. See if the timing comes out right. This is a terminating engine, meaning that if you break the belt, that's the end of the show. Which is what you might call not a happy ending. Go see if my timing mark's still on the back, if I didn't move this. One tooth, it's a difference. And we're off just a smidgen, so let's see. Let's see what happens here. Gotta go back just a little bit. Yeah, we should be all right. I'll know in a minute when I release. Oops, shoot. See, it can be a difficult one. Nut. Okay. 13 millimeter. You know, it looks good. It's laid in pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's do something else. Hold it. Let's put this piece in, Forrest, and run the wire along this. Let me hold this in there.
Yeah.
Okay, now see what it looks like. It might be doable.
I think that's it. So, and I'm trying to look in plane to there.
Right.
I think that's it.
I'm not going to worry about this because I can move this a little bit, and I'm not worried about this 45.